Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome and Dumnwanachu to today's Sabassembler. And as you know, today we have a very different show. And the first time for Sabassembler, we have an interview show. And as you know, it's the interview from Bryan Wong from MODUCASE. And I'll just add him into here. Welcome, Bryan.
Hello, guys.
And to help me with this show tonight, we have, I believe, Astro from Astronomers World from on my right or left, and at the other side bottom we have Cash from KashDaGemini. Thank you for all you being here. Thank you, Bryan Wong, and
Welcome.
appreciate you taking part. And I did promise we have one surprise guest, and here we have.
Here we go.
Brian Tan.
Hello, guys.
One of,
man.
I assume everyone knows who Brian Tan is. One of the original founders of XN Studios. Thank you again also for joining our show tonight.
Pleasure.
Really appreciate that. It's a real honor for me to meet you too, and especially. And okay, so let's just see how the comments are, whether how many people are watching, and I believe everyone's ready.
Yep.
So let's just start with Bryan Wong, and okay, so thank you again taking part.
The double B, the double Brian.
Yeah, I think we have to, since we have two Bryans tonight, I believe we'll have to find a way how to differentiate. So maybe we'll call you Brian, and we'll call the other Brian Tan. Is that okay?
Just call me BT, the short one. BT will be
BT, is that better? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. More Wong. Okay, and thank you for being here tonight, and appreciate your time. And because of time difference, I'm sure in Singapore it's already. What time is it there? It's already like 2 o'clock or so in the morning. Yeah.
No, I'm pretty fine. I'm got used to working in this hour.
Wow.
And okay, and I'm sure for BT it's also pretty late now, I believe. So
same time, man. I live about 20 minutes away from Bryan Wong.
Yeah,
okay.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, correct.
Okay, I didn't know you lived so close to each other. And okay, maybe to get started, maybe first, Bryan Wong, you'd like to tell us something about you and your background in statue collecting. I believe you're also a collector yourself, as you can see.
Yes. I started off collecting model kits. So I was a commissioner. I paint during my free time, and my first display case that I got was actually IKEA Besta. So IKEA Besta with the discontinued glass door. You can remember there was this glass door for IKEA Besta. Yeah. So that was the time where I had my painted kit in the Besta. And after many months without touching my kit as usual, so dust start to accumulate, and I start to wipe them off. Who knows? I'm wiping my paint off. So at that very moment, I was quite pissed off with it because I took 6 months to create my kit and paint my kit. So I was so heartached that I just wanted to find a solution for it. So I just created the first version of MODUCASE. That was 3.5 years back, I guess. Yeah.
Wow, already.
Yeah. So prior to that, I'm really just a pure collector finding a solution. Prior to that, 10 over years of my career, I'm a programmer. So I've been doing I've been doing firmware product development programming for the past 10 over years. And this was the moment that I realized that I could do something that I love, that I could do in my collection. So as time moved on, as I'm in MODUCASE working, and we produce this product, I start to collect everything. Trust me, really everything. Yeah. So I get a huge mix of like Legos, even downright to statues, model kits, Gundams, anime, One Piece, Naruto, almost everything. So it's quite a. I'm not sure is it a good thing, but at least for me, I feel a bit happy about it.
I mean,
Yeah.
everything what makes us happy. Why not? Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, so that is how actually it's actually a family business where I started off with my wife, and my dad was a very good craftsman. So my dad is 73 this year. So
Wow.
it's a more of a family business that we come out as a team, and my dad was the one being the teacher and the master, teaching apprentice how to get things done, how to solve. So my wife is the one also helping. I'm also helping on my wife and my dad with regards to product development. So I'm all the way in the product development area. Even till today, I'm still doing my R&D. I'm much focusing on R&D. Yeah, that's why you can see Brian Tan is here.
Yeah. And so that's how you started collecting, and also that's how you started with MODUCASE, like, and it was all the family business, you said, like, also you had friends involved.
Yes, I have my friends of somehow friends. Yeah, so we are acquaintance friend. Then who knows? They joined MODUCASE. We got together. I got to know Brian Tan on 2018 Singapore Comic Con. Yeah, so that was where we knew each other. Then the company needed help with regards to expertise in this field, definitely. Yeah, so Brian Tan came on board and tons of help, man. Trust me.
Yeah, he was surprised, man. I walked over to the booth and I started like promoting MODUCASEs and
Yeah.
sideshow statues as well. So he had a lot of sideshow statues in his display cases then, right? But Brian, you mentioned about the dust stuff that affected all
Yeah.
your collectibles, right? For me, it was a couple of hot toys. I don't even remember the first generation Batman hot toys, right? They're all rubber suits, right? And when dust get on them, it's really difficult to get it off. So,
Because sticky. Yeah.
yeah, man. So that's one of the main things for, I think, for all of us collectors.
Yeah.
Yep, true.
Can I
Yeah, that's
ask
true.
Wong a question?
Sure.
So, whenever you first started your company with MODUCASE, obviously, this is the question. I don't know this for certain, but the MODUCASEs that we're seeing today, how many iterations did you have before we get to where we are today?
Today, till as of 2020, I think around November, this is the number 6 iteration that we have.
6. Okay.
Yeah, 6 iteration
Wow.
after at least 9 molds, 9 different engineering molds that I went through. Yeah, the difficult part of the wheel cases is actually the front panel and the front frame. So the front frame is something that is the IP came from MODUCASE ourselves. So we took many iterations just to get the accuracy correct. I even had my Germany friend. I did told Michael before. I had my Germany friend to design for me, and we worked together because he's a very well-versed extrusion engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I had him with helping me. So from there, went through 6 iteration. If I'm not wrong, yes, there's 6. Guys who had the first 2 iteration, trust me, they are repurchasing from me.
And the new stuff, right?
Yes.
New stuff behind you, right? Look, you can talk about the corner unit behind you, right?
Yeah. So this corner
Yeah.
unit, I did a prototype for the corner unit. So technically, it's not yet officially launched, but
Right.
I did sell to a few very close customers to give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
So we have these few close group customers that when we have a new product, we will always launch to them, and we do some trials, especially got to do with weight loading, safety, the satisfaction of the product, the feel, the quality. These are things that we go through for every iteration.
Mm-hmm.
So if you realize from a Facebook post that I post for a new product till it becomes a real product, it's going to take me at least 10 months, I think so. 9 to 10 months, thereabout. Yeah.
For your first, like until you got what you know, like how long did it take you until you were ready to start it on an industrial level?
The person actually did help me the most where I get my second iteration up to the market is Todd Johnson from Spec Fiction.
Oh, Tom.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So Todd Johnson is
father.
he's my first customer in US. My very first.
Oh,
Okay. Wow. Wow.
So he bought from me, I can remember, it's 4 units of the second iteration DF60s. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So
So-
from there, Todd was helping me a lot with regards to how does the assembly goes, how does the feed up work.
Maybe
This and that,
maybe I'll
yeah.
just like put in some pictures. I don't know. I'll just show your website or so
Yeah.
for people who don't know which one.
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be
Very
great,
good.
Saba. Your background looks good, man. I don't have
Thank
a
you.
Maji case myself, but I'm looking like, hey, I see Astros, I see Sabas all the time, and I think I might be next, man. It looks good.
Not even come in first. I'm waiting for mine as well, man.
BT.
Mine is quite huge. Mine is around 6 meters with the L. Yeah, and it's at
Oh,
a height
wow.
of about 2.4 meters. Yeah, there.
Yeah, it looks so clean, man. It's well
Thank you.
organized and lit up. I like it, man.
So Wong, the only reason why I don't, because I have these 2 Machi cases here behind me, and then I have a 150 in my other room. The only reason why I don't have more right now is because I'm waiting to get a new place to get more space.
I see.
And whenever I get more space, my background is gonna look like yours.
Better screen grab what we see now so we can compare later, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so
I mean,
MODUCASE
you're-
official.
Oh.
Sorry? Yeah, so
looking at the right one.
yeah, so MODUCASE officially is at 3 years, 1 month old. Yeah,
Cool.
till now. Yep. Are we looking at the correct page?
Oh yeah, man. The shipping delays are hitting everybody now, man. I saw the huge pile up at the shipping ports, right? Oh man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah. I think now we're back, and let's just show in the gallery. I think we have different like versions, I believe. Or if you go to the maybe which page is better, the shop or so. I don't know.
Yeah,
These are like I think the DFs or so.
120. Yeah, these are the 120.
These are the first pieces you kind of started with, or you started.
Yeah, the DF60, the DF series is my first series that the product came out.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I believe they're more for meant for smaller statues, like maybe 6
Quarter
scale or
scale?
hot toys.
But 6 scale with the diorama and quarter scales individual figures like sideshows quarter scale.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
the DF would be very much suitable.
I believe the
And-
first the first Maji case I bought, what actually wasn't even for myself, it was for my dad, and it was a DF60.
Oh, was it quite some time back?
Yeah, it was a couple years ago.
I bet you had the second version, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
but still, I mean, I have to say, like, you did a great job, and
Thank you.
later on you started with the Max, or how?
Yeah.
What was the next step for you?
The second one was the Max series to accommodate XM quarter scale.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They gotta make sure that they can withstand some heavy statues, right?
Yeah. No, XM makes very nice quarter scale. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
the
is that
tunnels and
how,
lady
like-
there, yeah. It looks
That's how
good
you got to know,
behind.
like, BT or so, or how
Yeah.
did you
Bryan
really
Wong,
get to know?
you don't have to say that just because I'm on.
No, I'm being very frank. Yeah, I have a few pieces from XM too.
Oh,
Or
thanks,
actually,
thanks.
I have a lot of pieces from XM.
Thanks.
But XM has very great pieces, especially I can remember the first customer which asked me to make the before I even name it as Max series was for the Hulkbuster. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That piece was the one that cracking my brains. Then I was thinking, how am I going to fit this in, man? Because at Hulkbuster was launched 2019, right? If I'm not wrong. If I'm not wrong, it's 2019 or 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
2018.
it was,
It
was
teased in 2018. It was teased, but I think,
Yeah, 2018. Yes.
fully
So
produced in
when
2019.
when I
But
was
they
at
managed
Singapore,
to ship it very quick, I think.
yeah. when I saw it at Comic Con, I was like, oh goodness, how am I going to make one so huge? And the Batman Shogun, yeah, these two pieces are the one that customers are asking for the Max series. So there came my Max series.
Yeah. I think when we were showing off the Sentinel versus X-Men, we got a lot of people asking, how the hell are we going to like put that into a display case, man?
Yeah. I made quite a few customs for Sentinel and X-Men diorama. Yeah. And trust me, Iron Studio, if I'm not wrong, the larger one, the one with the Sentinel 1, 2, 3.
Oh yes.
Yeah, trust me, I had a hard time for that. Trust me. But it's nice. It's really nice.
So what do you think would be the next step? I mean, all of us have seen, I think, or most of us have seen the XM Studios War Tank. I mean, who's here? Like Raymond Wong, like just said, like now people are asking for a series to fit the War Tank, and I think he's right. I mean, how would you call this series? I mean, would you call this like Ultra Max or so?
I will leave this to Brian Tan, maybe.
It's quite the tank series, man.
Tank series, yeah.
I mean, for like crazy statues, like maybe even XM's, like was it their Grimlock? I just managed to fit in the Grimlock.
Yes, I forgot about Grimlock. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, there's a couple of big ones coming, right? Like even the Batman, on the bike. And I think even Lobo, they're making Lobo 1/4 scale now, and that's going to be massive as well, right? But where we're heading it's going to be quite interesting and exciting, because when I first met Bryan Wong and I saw his display cases, I mean, there were very few on the market that was specially designed for statue collectors, right? I don't know if you guys remember seeing this on Facebook. There was one guy who used an IKEA the TOF, something like that, and everything crashed. I think XM Ghost Rider was on top, and it just destroyed everything else down. There were like maybe like 15 1/4 scale statues that were all broken from the top that crashed down. It was a very heart-wrecking photo to see. But after seeing how one of the first thing I remember Bryan Wong showing me was he showed, I think it was himself and his little girl sitting inside a module case. So he was holding the weight of a human being, himself as well. And I was like, okay, that's going to hold the XM statue, no problem. So hold any statue. And so we started talking. And as I mentioned, we stay quite near each other. So we sometimes late night suppers, we catch up for, locally we have this thing called prata. It's kind of like an Indian curry with pastries. And then we got together and he was bouncing some ideas off me. And we said, hey man, let's do it together, right? I saw a lot of potential in MODUCASE. And let's just say this, right? In the next 6 months to 8 months, right, there's going to be a whole lot of new updates to MODUCASE, the kind of products going to roll out, and there's going to be some technology involved as well. So I'm very excited, but it's still kind of undergoing the revisions right now. So I suppose Q1 next year we should start to see some news soon. So can't wait to share with you guys what's going to happen next.
Especially, I mean, what surprised me are these shelves you have for the 150s, for example, like you see here, and I was really like surprised how sturdy they are and how much they can actually carry. Like I have I don't know if you can see it, like on next to me you have the Batman Sanity from XM Studios there, and it's standing on one of those 150 shelves. And really, the way you manage to create these, I don't know, how do you call it, these screws, like to fit in the corners and to how much they can carry. Like I was very much impressed. They can really, how much, I think officially it's like 40 kilos or so they can carry.
Official. But you can try overloading it. I think you need at least
200 I wouldn't
200 kg.
I don't think I will risk that. I don't think Yeah, but that was I mean, I have a lot of like the larger statues. Like I have the other corner, from XM Studios, the Namor. That's a really heavy statue, and that even
no problem at all.
It also, and that shelf actually carried it, and really, I was really impressed. And I think, I mean, but also like if we're talking about like larger statues, like or art, or maybe displays made for larger statues, even larger than, I mean, like we've been talking about the War Machine, for example. Like, I'm sure you would have to also kind of like talk or consider the weight of these statues too. Like, maybe you would have to change the kind of metal you're using, or the how thick the metal is, and because especially if you're trying to stack these units on top of each other too, like at least two, because maybe if you're having, what did they say? I think the War Machine is like 90 kilos, they said. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Actually, for every design of MODUCASE, before we even launch, we do go through simulation using professional CAD software. Like we're using I'm using SolidWorks. So SolidWorks is software that allows you to simulate the amount of Newton tons that you're going to place on the display, and how much deflection, how much warp, will it change in shape over time. So you can simulate using the software. So yeah, I'm really looking into a third scale display, but maybe I should follow what Austin Teng said. Maybe you can have an iPhone series kind Ultra Pro Max. I'm not too sure about the naming yet. Yeah, but the naming is we will brainstorm on the naming, but definitely we are looking at a third scale. But a third scale is a bit more tricky, due to different length, different height, and the weight. The weight itself is at least
Yeah, the weight too.
80 kg or even 100 kgs. That's like 220 pounds, man. Yeah, and
But I think it would
stacking. Yeah.
It would also be, I think the problem later on will be the stacking. I'm not even sure if it's possible to stack that. I don't know.
Oh, it is possible. Definitely it's possible. It's
Yeah,
in
sure
the
it's
midst
possible,
of
but
it. Yeah.
It's pretty tough though, I'm sure. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Like,
We need to take some time for the engineering design with the reinforcement, or even redesigning the profile. Yeah.
So Wong, you've been talking a lot about innovation and all these different designs and things like that you guys are doing. I saw some months ago, I think it was towards the beginning of this year, you guys now have a new factory, a new bigger factory, right?
Yes.
How has the new factory helped you guys with your new designs, like your corner unit that you have there and things like that? Talk to us about that.
It just became too small, right?
Yeah, it just became too small.
Now they need a new factory.
We are looking at another new factory again. One of the main reasons is also due to the delays in shipment. So every now and then we manufacture in terms of containers. For instance, 140 footer or 240 footer. So every 6 weeks we have a few containers going out. But as long as any one container delay or even one batch of container delay, we would need to reserve space for at least 4 containers in the warehouse, and that's a lot of space needed. Yeah, so we are mitigating the challenges that COVID has been providing, even import for raw materials. Yeah, import for raw materials do also give us some issues. Our productivity did increase at least 200%. I dare to say that. Yep.
Wow, that's great.
Sales increased too, but sales is increasing faster than productivity. So that's why that's why Brian Tan is mentioning that we need to change the new factory. Yeah, so we are really doing our best in pushing out, but COVID is one issue. For instance, containers going to my Cali warehouse. Normally it takes maybe, I would say, 22 days to sell, 2 weeks to clear the custom. Now easily will take, I would say, at least 6 weeks to sell, another 6 weeks to clear custom, provided it's smooth. Yep.
Wow.
And the cost as well, right? The cost increased quite crazily, right?
Oh, shipping price, I think I can be very frank here, was at 8,000 US per container. Now it's at 30,000 US per container. So whatever you look at the statue group posting, everybody is complaining on the shipping and they are posting news on it. It's true. It's really true.
Yeah. Irish Alucard is asking, like, are you planning to have a warehouse in another country or other countries outside?
We are actually planning Europe. We are planning Europe, especially either in Germany or in Hungary. So I'm still discussing with Brian Tan, how are we going to get into Europe with a warehouse? Yeah, because the VAT is neither easy to solve in Europe with different EU countries.
Sebastian is German, right? Sebastian can help us, right?
When you
Like-
when you started the company, like your first customers, they were only in Asia, or you started immediately outside, like internationally?
I started in Singapore for 4 to 5 months, and the first country that I went to is US for international.
Okay.
Because I have friends in US, and I'm quite familiar with California and New York, both area. Yeah, so that's naturally, yes. The first place that I will go internationally will be US, and I have quite a number of good friends in Germany and Hungary. So naturally, the next market was Europe. Yeah, that was how I ended up in EU.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Rome had a question. We have a few questions here in the chat. Rome said that, and this was a question I also had written down. Will more MODUCASE series be available through Sideshow?
Okay, this is a tough question to answer. So MODUCASE has been working very closely with Sideshow. So if you take a look, they started with DF60 and they went on to the 6 series. Yeah. So I believe they will continue to expand towards the DF series. We are still working together on it. But Sideshow is a huge company with a very huge warehouse. It's neither easy to manage their corporate size. Yeah. So it takes a lot of planning together with Sideshow just to roll things out. I honestly did email Christina, which is the manager in Sideshow for procurement. Yeah, we have a very good conversation with regards on how are we going to move forward, and definitely things will be coming up, but not so convenient for me to say too much now.
Okay.
Yeah, but definitely there will be things coming up. Yeah.
And I think.
And are there any other? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Saba.
No, sure. Sorry. Like other, like you work together with Sideshow, but other companies you're also planning to interact with, maybe Prime One or PCS or any other companies you also want to work together with and as retailers for your products.
I will pass this question to BT. Yeah, Brian Tan will be a better person to answer.
Right. Yeah, we definitely want to work with a couple of all the top collectibles companies, and not just statue makers, right? But any toy company generally. You know, there's a lot of fandoms out there. It's not just statues. Like you can see from Bryan Wong's background, he's really into Legos as well. There's a lot of people who's collecting anime statues, and those are like huge, right? In terms of the way that they sculpt the powers and all that. So I think the thing here is that Sideshow is a bit unique because it's not only a statue company, but it's also a distributor. But the rest of the other statue companies are purely just statue companies. They don't really distribute other people's products. So from a distribution point of view, Sideshow has that advantage. So so when we look at for partners like that, we look for partners with strong distribution network. So, but of course, if any of the statue companies, and some have actually contacted Bryan Wong. We can't say who they are because we haven't done any deal with them yet. But some actually contacted and say, hey, maybe we can do some bundle views and all that. We'll be getting a lot of other kind of interesting proposal as well. Some people are saying, how about bundling a gaming table and bundling a gaming chair, and everything gets shipped out at the same time, and you set up your whole man cave. So yeah, man. Definitely, distribution point is one of the things we're going to expand. I think right at the moment, like what Bryan was saying, maybe some of the key areas would be, I think Australia. We're going to go into Australia, and also the Europe market as well. And for US wise, I guess Sideshow is still one of the main partners we work with. Yep.
Cool.
How big is the Europe market, if I may ask? I mean, I'm in Germany, and like in Europe, like what are the main countries of your customers?
In Europe, it's actually a huge spread. We have from Germany, mainly Germany, Italy, Spain, Netherlands, Belgium. So you're almost covering half of the Europe.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
UK, Ireland. Yeah. So it's actually quite a spread. I just saw Danny Lee had a question for us. Yeah, he was mentioning, are you guys thinking of adding lights for the adjustable shelf for like the 698, the F130? Sometimes the bottom display loses some main light because of the vertical length. Hey, Danny, actually we do have the lights for the shelf. Yeah, We have the strip lights and both spotlights for the shelf. It's able to mount below the shelf. No problem with that.
Yeah, you can actually see it like behind me, like you have the LEDs.
Yeah.
Inside, you don't see them, but
I have a Max 150 that has a shelf in it, and I have a light up under the shelf. So.
Yeah, I think the lighting's done very well.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, actually on that, I would ask you guys, right? What are the other ideas or wish lists you all have when it comes to the next generation of module cases? Like, it can be anything. It can even be crazy, right? But just Astro, Cash, and Seb, just throw some stuff out. I'm sure Brian can make it happen.
For me, actually, Brian did it. Like, for me, it was the idea of his corner unit. Actually, that was before I started the show. This was something I was going to ask. I was going to ask always, like, my dream was always that MODUCASE would come up with a corner unit if you want to have, like, if you have a whole room where you just want the whole wall continuing on without really kind of having this metal bar in the middle, and so it looks continuous and looks nice in the corners. And I think the way I see it looks, is the whole corner, is it one piece or it's like
it's a one piece
put together? Okay.
It's one, two, three stacks.
The middle part, is it a shelf you add or it's connected?
Oh no, it's not a shelf. This is one unit. This is the second. This is the third.
These are 3 shelves.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay, it's not like in the 150. Okay, I see.
But it's quite deep, no? This is the Max series. The Max series is almost 1.1 meter by 1.1 meter. Yeah. It's quite deep.
Okay, but it looks great. It looks great. I think a great job. I mean, there are so many ways people have been displaying their statues in the community. I think one of the most famous ones were the IKEA Bestas, and I'm not saying they're bad. They're great. They look good,
they're great.
And but I think if you want to bring out the whole beauty and glory of a statue, you need a decent lighting, and I think Studios did a great job. MODUCASE, did a great job when they created these, and behind this acrylic glasses with the nice lighting, I think our statues look really nice. And when people come in, like sometimes I have people have nothing to do with this. Like the other day when I was renovating my house, there was this one man who came into my room and he saw these and he was like, wow, what is this? And he thought it looked phenomenal. He said, when he saw this Spider-Man statue, he said, yeah, my son, if he sees this, he would go crazy. And but it's sometimes you have people like really impresses them. But I think if you just have a statue standing outside on a table or so, it doesn't get the same feel. I think that's my personal opinion. And what really impressed me is also is the way that the dust doesn't come into the units. I think that's one of the best things you've managed to do. I think dusting, I believe, is one of the greatest issues for many collectors, like that they have to dust their statues every week or every 2 weeks, whatever. And but I mean, I have I think one of the first statues I put into my collection was the Sandman I have here on the left, on my left, or from the right. And until today, there's no dust on it, and I'm very impressed by that. And that's my personal opinion. And I mean, Astro, you have MODUCASEs too. And what are your personal experiences or opinions about MODUCASEs? Are there things you think they're great, or other things you don't like about them?
Yeah, I think MODUCASEs are awesome. I think one of the main things that people talk about when it comes to MODUCASE, and I think is putting it together. I think that's probably the hardest thing. But what I've learned is, after your first time doing it, so after I put together my first case, the second and third one, it's a breeze. Because you learn how it works, right? It's a new infrastructure. It's a new way to put things together. Once you figure it out, you're fine, right? So I think module cases are wonderful. As you see, I have them. I just sometimes I just put my lights on and I just let it do its thing and just be on just to look at it, because they're really cool.
Yeah.
But a few of the suggestions that I have, and some people have kind of said some of the things I were thinking in the chat is, I'm thinking about if people have like a really large room and they want to have like a centerpiece. Like let's say, for example, let's take the XM Studios Justice League versus Darkseid, right? They want that to be a centerpiece of the room, right? You want to be able to look at it as you're walking around the room, having that fourth wall being another acrylic panel, right? So that you can see it 360 no matter what part of the room you're in. And then for me, I think one of the main things that that I had, and I just actually forgot what it was just that fast. But oh, that's what it was. I remember. I just remember that fast. It was lighting. Let's playing a little bit more with the lighting. So what I have here is the lighting bar in the case here, but maybe at the top panel here that we have at the top, maybe that whole panel is a light, so that the light is coming down from the top versus the bar. I think that would be
Exactly.
nice. It would be a different
Yeah,
feel, to play around with what that may look like, because with the felt bottom, I think that it would just look really nice and really high class and high value. I think that would look really cool.
I think that's a great idea. I think you got there with if you have the whole roof of the thing as a light up, and you don't see the LEDs sometimes. And I think that's a great idea he brought up. And maybe another idea would be like, I think it's a Legendary cases. I think they did that where they have the lights coming from the bottom. I think the whole base of them is the light. And or if you were talking about, for example, the 360 idea of like this cases with two statues to look at 360, maybe you might want to have, maybe not for like huge pieces, but smaller pieces where you have an integrated kind of turntable for a statue and inside the module case. And when you were talking about crazy ideas, maybe that would be, I think, great. An idea to think about. Maybe, this is a fancy thing, but I think it still might look really nice, especially for people maybe who don't have such a huge room, but they still want to have some kind of centerpiece decoration inside it.
Yeah, actually, for the light boxes, right, we are in R&D. We are doing the R&D now. Yeah, but the main key that what I wanted to achieve is backward compatible for all units since day one of MODUCASE. Yeah, so I'm actually working on. Sorry. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm actually working on the panel light, and in order for the panel light to be as versatile, that panel light has to be able to fit on the top and the bottom. Mm-hmm. So I can reduce my tooling, I can reduce my cost, and in turn, the selling price will be reduced. Yeah, and actually, even before considering the light panels, there's one problem that has always been disturbing me with regards to lights and wirings. So, like the statue on my right, which is your left, the Iron Man. So this Iron Man has this chest LED, right? Mm-hmm. So now statues are getting very commonly being lit up. So you get tons of wires within your display. Mm-hmm. So you add your light strip in, you add the panel light in, you add the spotlight in, and you add the statue lights in. Goodness, trust me, it looks like a shipyard. You get all the wires going to the back, and you need tons and tons and a dozen of power sockets or power supplies just to support it. So I'm in almost completion of an R&D of a smart hub which is able to connect everything within the display, which is be able to even control your statues individually, control every light individually, works with Google Home, works with Alexa, works with Amazon.
Oh,
yeah,
Alexa.
And
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, that is really amazing.
And one thing that MODUCASE really takes seriously is customers' privacy. So if you take note on all connected items on the net now, a lot of times if you connect to Google, you will need it to be streamed on the Wi-Fi. But our device, you have the leeway to not have it on the Wi-Fi and not have it be connected on internet. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
cool.
Like for example, XM Studios, like in the statues, for example, the their Thanos and their was it Shugo Batman for where they had the bat signal light up. They nowadays
correct,
sometimes they
correct.
give you this small
Remote.
those small switches, the remotes to turn the lights off or on. Like I think that's a great idea, but I think one problem with that was you don't have the option to turn the lights on
In
or
or
off like
right.
manually
Yeah.
anymore.
Mm.
And sometimes the remote doesn't work, and if the battery is off, you cannot turn the light function on anymore for your statue. That I think was one problem I've experienced before
So
on
actually,
X-Men
the,
Studio
the, the,
statue.
the, the power hub that we are working on will be able to support different voltages for different kind of statues and different manufacturers. There are some manufacturers that are going. The common one is going off at 5 volts, but there are some which are going on at 12 volts, which like mine is going on at 12 volts. So this is a few of the design considerations that we are working on, and we are actually in research to have the power hub together with something we call the power reel. So the power reel is a reel that lays across your display, and you'll be able to snap on a small little plug just to power anything that you want to. So you reduce the wiring. You don't see the wires.
Well, that
Yeah.
would be great. That would be phenomenal.
So
Because I see like some statues, for example, maybe should have the option also that the light doesn't just come from the top, but also from the bottom. And because like I see
true.
on some statues, like top of the statue is totally illuminated, but they look totally dark from the bottom, and it's just too dark. And because sometimes the statues lean over like to the front, and they cover the lights for the bottom side of the statue, and you
Yes.
can't properly see the faces anymore. And that's maybe something that would help, I think, for your statue, for some statues,
True.
I believe.
For MODUCASE design, we actually had a detail that was being designed in. So I'm very curious. I'm not sure whether Astro or even Michael, you have the display. Did you take notice on the details? Like, why is the base velvet or felt finish?
I think the velvet is a great idea, but maybe I believe it gives the whole thing a higher class feel. I believe that's my personal opinion.
Astro, how about you? Or
I agree.
anybody live with us now? Anybody have thought why did we even choose the felt finish or even this felt? The felt has different fur length.
I thought
Yeah.
it was because it looked very high class. I thought that, and it looks really nice to me. I mean, that's why I like it. You know.
The main reason for the felt is actually the second reason for felt is for classiness. The main reason is doesn't reflect light. Yeah.
Okay,
Wow,
I see.
okay.
So it's able to absorb the light, and you imagine
Okay.
if you
Wow.
have a display with all the reflection within the display of every single light bar or spotlight. Trust me, you will be flushing all the details away, and you will not be able to enjoy the collection.
That's really cool. Okay.
Wow, I never thought about that. That's a really cool idea. I mean that doesn't reflect the light. That's a great idea. It's something that you even consider that. That's some. I don't know. I would have never thought about that. Honestly, would you have, Astro? I don't know.
No, and
Yeah, there's a reply here. Most toy box, he got it correct. Yes.
and going back to the talking about the lights and the panels and things like that, I'm taking it even a step further. And this may be even version 2, 3, or 4, where you have an app and you can control it from your app, and there's different RGB colors that red and blue, and you can
yeah.
change it to be.
It's within this development. Yeah,
Nice. There you go.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
I've
because
already
people are
yeah.
asking about it, right? People always are asking about whether do I use warm lighting or cool lighting for my statues, and now you have a choice.
Right.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
great.
that's always in the
RGB
statue
lighting.
groups.
Sorry?
No, I'm saying that's always in the statue group. So what lights do I use? Warm or cool? People are always mentioning that.
Yeah, but I mean, Cash, do you own any MODUCASEs yet?
No, I don't. Which is crazy because I've looked at them from time to time, but I would say I'm into getting one because for one, the dusting, and then for two, like if you can get a corner unit, I think that would be what would tip me over the edge, because once you get to that corner, it's kind of like what do I do here? But now you'd have that solution already there for you. You'd have the lighting, the dust control, the corner unit. So I think, and I love the fact that it would have that black felt there too, because even when people do buy garage shells, they're always looking to put some sort of like black, like drape or blind or something like that to cover the bottom. So I think that's already a step above there for you. But I guess my main question would be is for somebody like myself who doesn't have a MODUCASE, like how do you go about getting one? As far as like how do you know the size of the one that you need? Like is it customizable? You know what I'm saying?
That's a good question.
Yeah, the normal
because I see
procedure
everybody has different ones.
So the normal procedure, actually, a lot of customers, what they did is they just drop me or Jack an email to ask, hey, which one should I buy? And trust me, they do send me the house blueprint and ask me, what do I do with my house? Trust me, I'm serious. Yes.
BT's like, yep.
Yeah,
serious.
they treat Brian as a interior designer sometimes.
So Jack and I, normally what we do, right? I think you guys know Jack as well. He's my sales manager. He's always very active on Facebook messages. So many a times we are discussing, we are drawing out in 3D. We'll be sending back to them and asking them, hey, come on, snap me a photo of what you have. Trust me, they snap me all boxes. All our boxes. All our boxes. Luckily, I'm a collector. I can recognize the box based on the size, based on the number, the model number, the serial number. I'll be able to know the largest and the smallest.
Wow.
So from there, we try to work out for the customer. Yeah.
I must say though, like something I have experienced. I mean, I've had several MODUCASEs now. When you assemble them, sometimes some of the screws, they kind of wear off when you screw them in, and then when you try to open them again, they kind of wear off pretty fast, and you can't open or close them anymore. They're kind of stuck. That's something I have experienced. Maybe this is just something I've experienced, and maybe you might want to consider, I think, using maybe different kind of metal or so for the screws, because I believe like sometimes they wear off pretty fast, because or sometimes like how do you know, for example, how far you have to screw them in? Like how do you know how much is enough?
How much strength is enough?
Yeah, how tight do the screws have to be? Like how do you know like you're done and you don't need any more? That's just for me. I just try to screw them in as tight as possible, and so maybe sometimes I'm afraid it's too much, and
you blunt you wrench the thread, right? Yeah, you wear off the thread. You wrench thread.
Yeah, maybe because when you screw them in too tight, it's also, as I said, it wears off the screws, and you can't open them anymore sometimes because they're so worn off, and maybe that's something you might want to consider, I think.
Yeah.
That's
sure, man.
I don't know, Astro, if you've had that kind of experience. I don't know, but it's just something I've experienced.
Yeah, we will look into it, definitely.
That's a fair point.
One thing about MODUCASE is within the whole team, BT and I, Brian Tan and I has always been advocating our executive and even managers that we need to be always there for customer. If you guys realize, we've been
must say, like, I don't know anyone like Bryan Wong, like who answers so fast on WhatsApp. Like you answer him and he'll answer like within a minute or even faster within a second. Like I'm always sometimes when I look at the time and it's just like, is he not? When does he ever sleep? He
doesn't sleep.
Don't worry about it. We have different people off different shift. So all of us are handling, but the main 2 person that are handling the social would be Jack and I. So most of the time, or actually Jack is the one handling now most of the time for the social media reply. So we have a few guys, we are trying to meddle around each other, but definitely I'm taking the midnight shift. I'm always taking the midnight shift.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, so we are really very focused on customer service, because we always understand that it just feel sucky if you email and nobody replies you. I had that
Yeah.
a few times for myself. Yeah, buying a statue and somebody, after paying my deposit, and nobody replies me. Yeah,
Okay.
I think sense of security is very important, and ethics as well. So this has always been MODUCASE's policy when we are with our team, when we are discussing with them, or even new guys that are joining us. We are quite strict, yes, with regards to customer service on our team. This is quite true about it.
So hey Brian, would you say that a lot of your customers outside of dust, things like that, it's people with pets, such as cats who tend to, jump around a lot and they don't want their statue getting broke, maybe like a piece that's kind of fragile.
Yeah, there are quite a few, especially there are some customers in US, especially California area. They rear quite a number of cats, not only one or two, man, sometimes even 3 or 4.
Mhm.
So the cats just get crazy and just bang on the display. So glass is a bit dangerous in a way because it shatters once it gets an impact. So yeah, acrylic was the one that was chosen. Okay, now I can pose another question. Why was acrylic chosen? If you guys can throw me some ideas, what do you think?
Mhm.
Why
Yeah, I
acrylic was
think.
chosen?
Sorry.
Why acrylic was chosen as the front panel instead of glass?
Yeah, I think it's the most flexible and it doesn't break easily. I think that's maybe a logical idea.
Yeah.
I mean, logical.
I'm thinking shipping.
Shipping
Maybe
was
it's
the second
lighter
reason.
too.
Shipping
I
was
like
the
the
second.
weight, yeah.
The first reason that we settled down with the product for acrylic is because of child safety. Because most of the collectors, when you can afford the statue, you must be in your 30s. And most of the collectors, out of 10, 9
Yeah.
of them have kids. And
Yeah.
young kids like myself. So they are
Right.
running around, banging onto a display, trust me. I've seen, I had my Detolf was being destroyed by my eldest daughter. Yeah. My eldest daughter just knocked onto my glass and the front panel just shattered in front of her. It's not Detolf's fault, it's my daughter's fault instead.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
acrylic was and there's a safety screw on the front panel. Yeah. So that's the main purpose of if you try bang it, it won't drop. Yeah.
There you
And it
go.
won't shatter. Yeah. So there are a lot of aspects that I took into consideration in my team for the materials chosen. Yeah. Even from shipping to cost perspective or even safety perspective when we are designing. So child safety was very, very important. And even the power supplies, if you notice, we are using laptop kinds of power supplies and case power supplies for the strip lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are using that is
Maybe.
because
No, go ahead.
so kids won't be able to stuck their finger into the electronics and get themselves shocked. Yeah.
Okay.
There are a lot of
Okay.
power supplies out there. They are open cage power supplies, and they are so much cheaper comparing to a laptop kind power supply that is encased. So safety was actually one factor that was within the consideration from the lights, even to the front panel material.
Yeah, I mean, when we're talking about, I mean, the glass is like one point. Something you might, I was thinking or I was wishing was maybe the kind of glass you use. Maybe because sometimes I see when I come into my room, the reflection of the glass. Sometimes the glass reflects the light, and you can't see the statue anymore. And maybe I don't. You might want some kind of glass which doesn't reflect the light. Like the other day, I went to some store which framed the picture for me, and they asked me what kind of glass you want. They had this reflecting light and the normal glass and a non-reflecting glass. It's more expensive, but at least it doesn't reflect the light anymore, and you can. It's just as if you're just looking through it, and you don't even see the glass anymore. And maybe I don't know. You could create that kind of option or so.
Yeah, I did search for anti-reflection acrylic. I did search. Yeah. So I saw the price and I was shocked.
I know it's more obviously it's gonna be more expensive. I'm aware of that, but still, I think it's could be helpful. Like especially if you have people which have these displays next to a window or where light could come in, or even like from the normal room lighting. Sometimes it just reflects, and like you have, for example, behind you can see the lights.
Yeah.
if you had that kind of
it's at an angle, and then the light just reflects.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah. That's actually a good option, right, Brian? When we could look at, if they some customers want, they can opt for the non-reflective acrylic. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be must. It's just like, as you said, like you could give the customers the option whether, I mean, they're willing to pay a bit extra, but at least they have this kind of glass then, and
agree.
that's just one idea I have. And that was like one. And when we're talking about, again, like the lighting, and I see like always there are a lot of wires connected when you have to include the lighting inside your displays. I said like maybe there could be an option for other, where the lighting is already included into the bars or inside the displays, and so to have less wires, so that especially when you're connecting more units next to each other, that it's already that the lighting kind of automatically connects to it. And so you have, because I see, like, you don't see it now, but for example, behind the units, I'm sure you have the similar issue, that you have a lot of wires behind them, and maybe even if you move some of the wires, maybe if they disconnect, it's almost impossible to kind of change it behind, because you would have to remove the whole display, and that would be a lot of work.
Trust me, when the power reels are out, you will love it for the wiring. That was actually the main reason that we researched the power reels. It would be much easier with a reel. You solve the wiring. You don't have you can still hide the wires inside, definitely, but it would be much easier to have something that you just snap and use it for everything within the display. So that was the main perspective that we started the power reel, and who knows, we brainstorm further with the power hub just to reduce the wires as well. It will be out soon. I'm doing my best to get it out as soon.
Like Danny Lee said, Bryan Wong, have you considered incorporating UV coating for the acrylic panels for sun protection? That's similar point we had brought up, and maybe you want to answer his question. Like,
UV coating is actually a process that can be done with acrylic with existing technology, but the price is at least 6 times of it. So I did make I made a few trial and errors on it. I bought the window shades, if you can remember what is it, the one that cuts off UV rays for your windows. So I was using the window tint shades to go over my acrylic, and it comes out to be the same effect, and it looks okay as well, just for a 10th of the price. So actually, and many times we are also looking at practicability of the reach to for customers to even implement. So UV rays are expensive. I mean, as in UV coatings for the rays are expensive. So thin sheets are one way to go, which is much easier, and it's available everywhere.
We have another question from the chat that I think we missed. Are there any future entertainment sets that can possibly fit a PS5, TV, speakers, and statues? So I guess a home entertainment situation.
Cool.
Brian Tan will answer this.
No. I don't know. It's a bit too early, but we intending not to just fill up display cases, right? With Bryan Wong being an interior designer now, we want to fill up the whole room. So whether is it your PS5 or your coffee table or even your mini fridge, I think we're working on expanding that line to decor your whole man cave up.
Good deal.
That's a good idea, because I've seen a picture of someone on the web once. I don't have it here now, but where someone had the whole display next to it, and in the middle he had his TV, and he kind of he surrounded the TV with the units, and that looked really nice.
So the TV is one of those configurations, right? So if you're a movie buff, right, you wanted your collector room to also have a large screen, and you can watch the Avengers or some movies with your friends. So we are thinking of doing the configuration such that you could have areas where you designate for your screens or even a gaming table, and you can slot a table in, and you can work with your collectibles surrounding you. So there's a lot of configurations coming up that we're kind of envisioning for what collectors would like in their rooms. And that's something that's part of the things that we're working on with Bryan Wong right now. And it's exciting. And sure, I think we will be able to share some more updates Q1 next year on this.
Oh, good. Exciting.
Like one of my questions would be like, when you're cleaning the outside of the acrylic glass, what would you say is the best way to clean them? Would you just a normal window cleaner, or maybe with just a duster towel? Or
I've seen Bryan Wong use speed. No, just kidding. That's a whole lot of speed you could use.
One thing for sure for acrylic, we can't be using the normal glass cleaner, because normal glass cleaner has ammonia in it, and ammonia will blur the acrylic. It will not be as clear. So one of the best thing to use to clean your display case would be a cleaner named Novus, Novus. So that is quite a good cleaner. Yeah, for Novus. I will send you a link later so you can attach to the video. So in future,
okay, that would be great.
Yeah, anybody would be able to check it out.
You should just make your own, man, Bryan Wong. Just make your own cleaners.
Yeah, soon. Yeah.
Or for example, those wooden panels inside your inside the bases, like how would you clean those?
There's a lean roller which you use to clean pet fur. There's something that you roll over.
Yeah. Okay, that's a really great idea.
Yeah, we do sell on MODUCASE website.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think something like $2 or $3. I forgot. Yeah, something there about.
My next purchase, I'm gonna make sure I add that to my.
There's somebody asking. Blaine Day was asking, will the power hard be backward compatible with the existing wiring in the case? Yes, will be totally compatible. So that will answer him. Yeah.
Good.
Yep. So Austin has typed out for us the Novus name. Yeah. It's an international brand.
Novus.
Yeah, it's a US brand if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Because I was just wondering.
Austin is distributor for Novus.
No, because sometimes I was worrying, I don't know, maybe the chemicals inside the window cleaners, whether they would maybe, I don't know, damage the acrylic glass, because I wasn't aware.
Oh yeah, actually speaking about this, I had quite a number of customers throughout these 2 years has been asking me with regards to the acrylic scratches. So this Novus have 3 different solutions if I'm not wrong. You have the Novus 1, 2, and 3. So the number 3 removes the deep scratch, and 2 removes the mild scratch, and 1 is the polish. So if you guys scratch the acrylic, don't worry about it. There's tons of ways to remove the scratches. Yeah.
Yeah, because I had that too once. Here, you can see one like next to me here. Sometimes one, it wasn't even a scratch. Actually, something just hit it, and there was
a slight blur.
It was like a blur. Yeah, it didn't look like a scratch.
Yeah.
But I kind of managed to remove it by, I don't know, just furiously trying to clean it off, and after a while it removed. And
you send it down. That's why.
Yeah, so Bryan Wong, we should probably include like a, in a like a cleaning kit, or even at least when we ship the product, it has kind of a care instructions and tips and advice, like the kind of cleaners to avoid using. Because I think if people start using glass cleaners, then they're going to get a lot of very blurry display cases. Yeah.
No, we should start a program called the acrylic care.
Yeah, sure, that's a great idea. Actually,
you just send in your dirty acrylics, and we'll give you a temporary one to use.
Great idea, man, bro.
Reusable, good for the planet.
There you go.
Oh, it's true. Who knows? We might be able to work out something with the acrylic care.
Yeah.
So, what year did you start with MODUCASE again?
3 years back, 2018. Yeah.
Okay.
20,
And
end
since
of
when?
End of 2018. Yeah.
Okay. Because I got my first MODUCASE at the end of 2019,
Yeah.
and because that was like when I started with my channel, like I was waiting to when I always had the plan to start my channel, and but I wanted to have a nice background, and I already ordered my first MODUCASE display, and then
Yeah, I remember.
that was when I
You are telling me that. I think correct. 2019. Yes.
it was 19,
It's
and
fast, man.
and you work with BT since then, or when did you join BT? Since when do you work
I
together?
it was only earlier this year actually.
Earlier this year. Yeah, but
Yeah, it was only earlier this year. We've met a couple of times, and I've been to his first, I think maybe second workshop, factory.
Third.
Yeah, third one, right? Yeah. So
Third one.
we have a lot of common friends as well, and I think
Mm.
Bryan Wong has always been very supportive and encouraging. He's always meeting me, asking for advice and ideas. So I joined him, I think around April this year.
Okay.
Okay. April.
But it's not like like I'm joining him in the workforce though. It is because currently I'm actually working as the chief strategy officer of Mighty Jacks. It's a
He's my
collectibles
mentor.
company. Yeah, it's another collectibles company. So I kind of left the statue industry and I went into this designer art vinyl figurine stuff, and it was something that really kind of was very interesting for me. But with Bryan Wong, I am a kind of a stakeholder, and I invested in it, and I spent a day a week with him to strategize how to bring the business further. So start off April and loving it so far, man. They're like one big family at the factory side.
And if I may ask, like, what's the reason you didn't want to continue with the statue industry anymore, or
Oh no,
why you went into?
I'm kind of still in it in a way, right? Because I'm still a shareholder of XM. It's just that I've been expanding my kind of my own personal growth in terms of the kind of collectibles out there. So it was statues, and then now it's into designer vinyl figurines, and now I'm stepping into NFTs and blockchain. Yeah. So this just to get an understanding of how everything works, right? Because and then with MODUCASE and Bryan Wong is really about how do I bring the pieces together and help to build the business more strategically and kind of just beyond what cases can do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great idea. Austin Teng is asking, is there any plan to have a longer LED strip for the Max 140s, the F120 series to avoid the gap in the middle and the cable connector producing or protruding out?
Yeah.
The Max 140 is possible. The 120 is a bit challenging. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the 120 has a center bar in between. Yeah. So I can't stretch the whole LED across.
Yeah, because he does have a point that I see that on my. I just got the Max 140s, the first one just recently, and that was a new experience. I really love those. I think they look great. But he's right. There is the small wires sometimes looking out in the middle, and sometimes it doesn't look so nice. But
because it joins two LED strips together.
Yeah, exactly. That's true, and it would look really nice if you don't see that wire in the middle.
Yeah.
And the problem is, I think you can't also stretch the two LEDs all the way to the end because they're too long, and
I can't ship. Yeah, it's too long.
Yeah. Maybe another thing is for me, what I've experienced is sometimes those things you stick or maybe I should ask you another question. Where do you think is the best place to stick the LED strips to the metal bar or to the top of the wooden or the cardboard top of the unit?
Yeah.
The top panel would be easier. Would be much better.
Because I have experienced once it actually one of the LEDs fell down, and for me it was just the question was whether it was my mistake or it's because I just put it or I stuck it onto the wrong place. That was my question.
Supposedly to be on the top panel. Supposedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Should be on
because
the
I
top
have
panel. So I think you're correct.
because I did stick it on some units. I did stick it onto the metal bar, and I was, but it was just something, or maybe on both. I don't know, because sometimes I think you can stick it on the corner. Like I did do that. Sometimes I put one part on the cardboard piece and one piece onto the metal
Onto the
bar,
aluminum.
and
Yeah.
and it actually worked for most
For a
of them.
while. Oh, most of them. Great.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
notice,
but it's just
we changed quite a number of times for the tape that we are using for our lights. Yeah. We changed quite a number of times. Even to the most recent one, we are using something called the high temperature acrylic tape instead of the normal sponge tape. You know, those double-sided sponge tape. So we
yeah, you have
really
those small sponge tape.
Yeah, we have changed to the acrylic kind. So the one that you receive, the
Okay.
transparent tape, the thicker ones, that should be
Yeah.
much better. We also had quite a number of feedbacks initially, especially during the early days, where we are using the sponge kind of tape, where it wasn't so good. Yeah, so we have changed to the acrylic tape. I believe Astro's one would be the old tape. Yeah, because it's very very long time ago.
Yeah, but you do think the cardboard, like the top panel, is the best place to connect the LED strips? Okay.
No, actually, the best would be sticking the LED strip to the top panel, and it rests on the back to the inner of the metal frame. Yeah, that would be the best position.
Because you do also sell these spotlights, don't you, for the inside? What's your favorite? Do you prefer? Some people have been asking me on YouTube, do you think the spotlights are better or the LEDs? What is your personal preference?
We actually do have a company rule of thumb when we advise customer for this, because this question we are facing every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if there's two kinds, definitely, right? You have the spots and the strips. And spots and the strips, you have the warm and the pure, the cool white or the warm white. So for spotlights, the best spotlights will be if you have a statue that is maybe one or two statues within the display. Yeah, then you have spots, because you need certain focus on a certain area. Or if I can give an example, for example, XM Sentinel diorama. You have hovering up there. You have different characters around the diorama. I think spotlight would look better, because you can have areas to highlight on the details of different places of the diorama. That's quite important, personally for me, when I'm looking at the statue. But if I have something like Batman Shogun, if Batman Shogun, I would prefer the strips, because the whole piece has tons of details that is so difficult for us to even focus on a single one.
Right.
Okay.
Because Batman Shogun, we have weathering throughout the whole samurai armor. We have the spear. We have different areas. So we really need to think on the angle of the kind of statue we are actually displaying. So even for pure whites and warm light, for warm light, it works very well if you are displaying something that is of a red background. Like for instance, Iron Man. Iron Man looks very reddish, very metallic in terms of warm white, but definitely it's due to preference as well. So for me, I'm definitely a pure white person, but depends on the statue itself. I will mix both strip and spots. Yeah.
Up to now, I've always been using the LED strips, and sometimes this is my personal opinion. I cannot judge that. I think the spotlights sometimes they look fancy, but generally, I think the LEDs, I think they're more effective in most cases. I think I might be wrong, but that was.
I think the consideration is very similar to how we display our collection. So for me, I'm kind of an OCD person. So sometimes I will need something to be aligned that way, you see. So spotlights gives me the kind of comfort feeling that I have if I'm highlighting certain part of a display. It just gives me the depth feel. There's a different aperture perspective of the item, because if you take note, if you are using spotlights, right, you look front of it, it looks like a portrait photo where you Photoshop the portrait photo. So that is how I view the kind of lights that I'm using. But if I'm using strip lights, if strip light with multiple statues, I'm snapping a landscape architectural photo, just like the bag I have here for my Legos. Yeah.
Yeah.
So really depends on the perspective that we want. But for me, one or two statues that are my highlights of my home spots. Definitely.
Yeah, it really depends on like what
Yeah.
Bryan Wong says, the statue and the style you want, right? If you wanted something more dramatic, you will use spots. Like if you wanted to just light everything up at one go, you will use strips. So like what Bryan Wong has behind, if you have all those like Lego buildings and you want to see all the buildings and the details, the strip will work better. But if you have like maybe a Batman piece, Batman usually is very dark and brooding. Maybe a few spots like really kind of make him come alive as well. So it really depends on how I guess the character as well and what you prefer. And if for example, if I'm into museum kind of layout, I probably prefer a lot more spotlights treatment. But if I just want like a working room where everything is bright and I can see everything, then strip light works.
Yeah, maybe. Do you think it would be a good idea maybe to combine spotlights or LEDs in one statue, like in one unit? Because sometimes I have the feeling because I'm just using one LED strip for every unit, and sometimes I have the feeling for some statues everything is, especially when you have the black background as I have here behind me for the statues. The everything seems illuminated in the front, but in from behind the whole unit seems like under illuminated. It seems too dark. And maybe another option or something you could do is find another way. Or that's why I think that's what would solve the problem is what you mentioned before, the
power reel, is it?
The illumination from the top. Like we have the whole top panel illuminating the whole unit, because it would actually illuminate just the whole unit and not just the statue from the front. Because as I said, like sometimes I have the feeling the statue it's bright from the front back, but everything behind is just too dark.
Speaking about spotlights and strip lights combination, I do have a few customers that we had some time discussing together. So they had this very amazing way to do it. They use strip light to place at the base of the display. It illumines the diorama. But the statue itself is using the spotlight to highlight them.
Oh.
It's a trust me, everybody has very unique ways that you can't even think of it sometimes. I was so amazed. I was so astonished, like, hey, good idea, man. This is great.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
I have never thought of having the strips to illuminate the diorama and having spots to highlight the statues, which is amazing.
That's a great idea.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. So it's very different when the same product it lands on different hands, and people can be so innovative. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, but Bryan Wong, that's also why you came out with the power reel, right? So that people's going to have a lot more control on how you light your stuff. You could light it evenly across all the angles. You could have only a single spot. You could create different moods for different modules.
Correct,
so it's going to be very customizable.
Like just like you, I personally prefer the cold light as you used for the LEDs. But maybe I don't know, maybe you should have the option for the customers to choose what kind of color light they want for the strips. Maybe more warmer lights for some people. I don't know. Sometimes because the cold light sometimes changes the color of the statue. It kind of distorts it. It
looks different.
It doesn't look. It changes it, especially for people with videos. Sometimes the cold light changes the color of the statue. It doesn't look like it actually looks in reality.
That's why we are coming out the RGB lights. Where customers can just change the kind of what we call is illumination factor. You have the 6,000 to be the pure white and the 3,000 to be the warm white. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be good.
And Cash, you have any questions?
Yeah. So with the lighting that one's using, is it based on, like, I guess their room setting? Because like for me, I'm in the basement, so there's just the lights from the ceiling. But is it ever based on the individual statues, such as like a Iron Man statues? You know, more Iron Man statues are starting to light up. So does that matter, such as like the cool light, you know, the cool yellows, or just the regular white filter lights?
Actually, really, I think really got to do with personal preference. Like for myself, the strip lights I would prefer the cool white because I really love the golden metallic area. But some users or some collectors are actually focusing on the red armor. They prefer more reddish armor, so they will use warm white. Yeah. So it really depends. Like for myself, I have War Machine. I have different Mark 42. I'll just do up the pure white to save my trouble.
War Machine will probably go better with with the cool pure white because it's you know, you don't want any red elements inside. Yeah.
Right.
But my favorite is still the Mark 7. Oh, the best armor.
Yeah.
Mark 7, man. Trust me. I know. I love the Mark 7.
I actually have that one coming in. I can't wait.
Yeah. Queen Studio? Is it from Queen
No,
Studio?
not from Queen Studios, from Sideshow, but I just think it's the best armor.
It's nice. The Mark 7 is nice. It's really nice.
There's another thing, something totally different, but it's something that I've been experiencing is coming back to the topic of the shelf. I think one major problem with the shelf is changing the height again. I think sometimes it's very difficult to change the heights by yourself. You always need someone to help you do that.
It is, yes. It is.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe you might want to find another way, like how to more easily change the height of your shelves. It's just,
this is actually something that I've been struggling on the product design for some time. Because I would need the strength of the bolts and the nuts. Yet I need the agility and the flexibility of changing the height of the shelf. So what I'm doing now, which is I'm still quite far away from having it to be completed. So it's something. It's like it's almost like a quick release screw.
Yeah, exactly, and especially also and especially also finding or adjusting the height of the screws and finding and being sure that everything is totally horizontal,
level,
totally 180 degrees, and because you have to lose like a water scale and being sure it's totally flat and it's not on an angle.
So with the quick release board or quick release mechanism that I'm working on, but I'm still very far away on it, definitely. So if with that working on, there will be certain catch area which has very close intervals. Yeah, that would be much easier for the
or
shelf.
Maybe there would be a way where you just where the screws can there's a way to kind of press one button, or you pull a trigger underneath the shelf to kind of release all the screws at the same time to easily just put it up and down. And
there are a lot of mechanism that is to using the button catch. This is what we call a button catch. But the button catch is totally not strong, so is one of the factor that I'm considering. Because we have rated it at 40 kg, but trust me, we have cases like 150 kg loading onto it. So,
I mean,
so I think that is one challenge that I've always been facing. I'm trying to work out in an innovative way, but there's no such thing in the market now in terms of fixture and fitting. So it's something that me and my team, we are working on it, but I think we will need more time to solve that.
You see, like I was talking about the screws kind of wearing off. The first time I experienced that was actually like for one of those inside the shelf, because I was really afraid. Like I don't want my statue to come crashing down, and
So
that's why I was
yeah.
really I really tightened these. And when I wanted to change it again, sometimes it was kind of worn off and
Overly tightened. Yeah.
yeah, overly tightened maybe, and um,
Yeah. I
that
do
was
agree
just
with
one
that. Yeah.
thing because the and changing the height of the shelves by yourself is actually kind of, I think personally, pretty difficult. You do need someone to help you to adjust the height, I believe.
One of the comments was writing crayon quick release T-nut. Yes, it's something along that line. Quick release T-nut. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's something along that line. So we are
but I
still
do have
working
to
on it.
say, that they are very sturdy, and that I was very impressed that they can carry these heavy statues like the Batman Sanity. I mean, that's a really heavy statue. That only the base, I remember that time it was for one person to carry. Only the base was, I mean, pretty tough, and the whole statue together. I mean, I think it weighs like, I think over 40 kilos or something like that, and that this shelf can carry that. I was actually very much impressed, but I think the only next struggle is to find another way uh, to adjust the heights of the shelves, and
Yeah. In terms of product
especially,
development,
yeah,
we are always very committed to move forward and to make things easier, to get it assembled, or even to make it aesthetically better, easier to clean maybe. Yeah. We have always been looking out in ways, and we are quite lucky in a way. We have tons of realistic feedback that comes back to us. Yeah, we have a lot of customers who turn friends, and good friends actually. So we became, whenever I'm at different countries, I do visit them, and they bring me to places to buy statues that, yeah, it's the same as there's a collector that I did became my friend Steve Smith. I'm not sure, do you know him? So I was in California. He brought me down to Frank and Son. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I was
Wow.
shocked about my life, man. 40,000 square foot of collection.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
40,000
It's in
square
California,
foot.
right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a fantastic place. Fantastic. I drove quite far. I remember I drove like an hour, just to reach there.
Full of Funkos, right? It's like the number one thing there, right?
Everything, Sideshow, Funko, XM, okay, customs, definitely. There are tons. Lego, Gundams, anime, One Piece. The whole 40,000 square foot is a flea market with every small little retail shop is maybe at about, I would say, 100 square foot thereabout, and it occupies the whole 40,000 square foot warehouse.
Yeah.
Wow.
There are hundreds of
Wow.
retail stores there. It's amazing. It's fun. It's really fun.
That's
It's very
amazing.
fun.
For
Yeah, Astro
Or-
you should make a trip there one day.
I
It's
will.
Really nice. It's really nice.
where was that?
It's in California, in a new industrial road, I think, something like that, or industrial road.
Yeah, if you Google Frank and
Son.
Sons, it's quite yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah,
That's
it's amazing.
I will Google for sure, 100%.
When
Or
I
are you
was there,
planning
I was really
maybe?
shocked. Yeah.
I don't know. Are you planning maybe also to start selling your products out, just not online, but also you have certain stores where you might want to sell them in? I don't know, maybe
Retail stores, do you mean?
maybe like retail stores. I don't know, maybe like, I don't know, Best Buy or maybe Michael's or so. I don't know.
That I will need to discuss with Brian. He will be more of a strategic
Okay.
person, yeah, to even advise me, advise the whole company on actually the retail. Yeah, it's actually a very thin line to balance in terms of retail store or not on e-commerce. Yeah, because even getting the correct distributor, the number of distributors within a county, within a state, within an area, yeah, we are always consciously balancing the supplies in there. We are ensuring that everybody who's working with us, be it distributors or retailers, they will have a fair share that is able to make proper share for them to even survive better and fare good in the business that they are doing. Yeah, so these are things that we have been considering discussing, but the ultimate consideration is the number and how much pie and priority we are giving to our distributors and retailers. This is a very important factor for us. We always ensure that our partners are able to be doing good. That's a very important segment, really.
How big is your company now at the moment? Like, how many people do you have working there now, approximately?
I think to validate the number of craftsmen that I have with me is not a very accurate way to validate, because we are almost 70% with machines, with technicians working on. Yeah. So throughout these 3 years, we have been moving forward, training, upskilling our guys. Wasn't easy, but was a needed path to get it up. So we have numbers of CNC machine, which is computerized numeric cutting machine. So we have more drafters than manual workers. So drafters are the one that drafts out the computer CAD drawing and they input into a machine. So the one area that is really labor intensive is the front panel. It's totally manual till now.
Oh,
wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Because there's no way for us. The cutting of the front panel is definitely automated. It's using laser cutting. Because we needed an accuracy of 0.1 or 0.2 for the magnets to be inserted into the front panels. But the inserting is still very manual. So that is the part that is intensive labor. So we are at a strong strength of 17, 18 there about with all machinery, and mostly technician level, which is not easy for us to even to train them to this current level. It took really very long. They need to start as an apprentice, moving up their skill set to be a craftsman, the junior craftsman, and craftsmen are normally very traditional in terms of manual, so we need to teach them in terms of automation from scratch.
right.
Yeah.
When you started, how many were you?
How many people? You
Yeah,
mean?
when you started. Yeah, how many people?
Trust me and my dad.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge development. I mean, how a company can grow. I mean, you said you only started 3 years ago, and
every
that's
single piece of
huge.
every single piece of air-click back panel and top panel and the base is hand cut.
Wow.
The air-click panel that I cut initially is using hand. My dad and we are literally using pen knife, scratch off the air-click lines in straight, and we step it off and we sand it and we polish it again.
Wow.
So those guys, you guys who have the first generation one, keep it, man. It's a national treasure. Extremely limited, man. It's got his blood and sweat in it.
It was really a very tough journey because my dad and we started at home during the first 6 months. Yep. So we bought materials in terms of single and 2 pieces, where no suppliers will even bother about me. UPS definitely won't bother about me. I do not have any volume. I think the most challenging time was when my wife was planning on the business direction for the logistics. Yeah.
Okay.
So my wife is the one that is on the supply chain and even the forefront on getting the supply chain done. I'm lucky.
Yeah.
My wife is capable. Yeah. So
behind every successful man, right?
Yeah.
So we just flew to California, and we went to Vernon Street. So this street is where all the warehouses are there. One by one, we knocked on the doors and asking them, can you take in our half a 20-footer? That was the very first order. And luckily one of the guy accepted us and we became partners till today. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So we had quite a tough time. Yeah, honestly. Initially the 6 months wasn't easy. Everything hand cut by pen knife.
But you know what's the future,
Wow.
right? In the future, I think Bryan Wong's secret. He shared with me his dream, right? He used to go open up like Charlie's chocolate factory, right? Where you just go in and you push a button, and then everything just get made, and all of you get golden tickets to go and visit, right? Yeah. So that he wants to do automation, full automation. So that's an interesting journey. I think he should get there quite soon, maybe within the next year or so.
Okay, some sneak preview. Actually, we are now. I'm now designing with my product engineers and production guys with 6 robotic arms. So we'll be incorporating robotic arms into our production with the automated cutting. Hopefully that we are be able to chase up all the backlogs that we have.
Very important is
Yeah.
Gundam robotic arms.
Like,
Yep.
yeah, we have a question here from Buzz Lightbeer. Brian, are you still working on getting into the European market? I need some
Yes.
DF 120s in my life.
Okay, I can be very frank here. For the past a year, I've been working very hard on European market. European market, there are certain challenges that we are facing. We did find distributors, and we have distributors approaching us. But every distributor has their own concern because they are of different country. And the VAT with regards to the accounting that they need to cover in EU is much more complex comparing to US.
Yeah, that's true.
Because,
I've been experiencing that because every time when you send the when I order them, you have the tax from the customs, and you have to pay extra again the customs, and the customs here in Germany are just crazy. Like you pay like almost a quarter of the value of the thing again.
Actually, Germany is one of the lowest. Yeah, it's
Really?
one of the lowest. Yes, in EU. You have
Because
places
other
that
taxes here in Germany are very high.
there are other countries that are charging 24%. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
VAT.
Wow.
Yeah. But one thing good, Singapore and EU, right? We have this free trade agreement. So there's no additional tariff, but VAT applies. But the VAT is painful enough for my distributors to even. They need to think of the accounting side, because imagine if they import into Germany, if they export to Spain, they will need to either pay up the difference or they need to return to the government the difference for VAT. So the logistically is a nightmare for partners in Europe. Yeah, so it's really quite tough. In US, it's much easier because all states has a very clear cut sales tax. Yeah.
Because maybe sometimes it would be easier for people like me who live in Europe if you had another retailer, for example, who works here, and it would be maybe a little bit cheaper if you have one in Europe when you want to buy the module cases, and because when you always have to.
We have been seeking for discussing with distributors, but it's very normal for them to meet up with accounting issues for taxes and importing as well. Yeah. And plus the COVID caused the shipping to be crazy. So most of them are really facing a lot of difficulties in Europe to import and to export to different EU zones. And to make things worse, Brexit complicates the matter for UK.
Okay.
And Ireland, yes. And these are politically things are going on in different areas of the world, and shipping is really one of the aspect that needs a lot of time to solve it. So Europe, we have been putting a lot of effort, really a lot of effort to get it up.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen, for example, logistics has been, as you mentioned, has been one thing that COVID has affected. Other ways that COVID has been affecting you.
Yep.
Like, or how do you think what are the worst things or effects of COVID for your company?
Logistics will be one of the worst because unpredictable. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things happening unpredictably. Like for instance, China's manufacturing or raw supply producing factory, they are only working 3 days a week now. So there are certain raw materials that we purchase from China, from Southeast Asia, like Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam. Vietnam has always been a zero COVID ruling and law that they have, so they are almost totally shut down.
Wow.
Yeah, so supplies are really insanely, crazily difficult to get them in, and for exports as well. My container takes 6 weeks to reach California now, Long Beach, and takes another 6 weeks to clear customs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
And prices are 6 times more. Yeah, five times more now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook on different pages and groups that a lot of people are feeling that the crunch on the shipping costs. Yeah, but these are real true prices that are really biting on us. Yeah.
Like your products, are they produced in Singapore or in China? I assume, but I don't know.
It's 100% produced in Singapore. Certain raw
100%.
materials, yeah, 100%.
Wow.
So for raw
Okay.
materials, we consolidate from different countries, like
Okay.
aluminium, the wood, the panels, the acrylic. We purchase from different countries that are the main producers of the different composite materials.
Okay.
Yeah, and we
Oh,
do the aftermath production in Singapore.
So all your 70 employees are it's total
Yeah, all in
100%
Singapore. Yeah,
Singapore. Wow,
all in
I'm
Singapore.
surprised. I didn't expect that, but I'm very much
Yep.
surprised.
Singapore is not an easy place to do manufacturing due to costs. It's very high.
Okay.
Yeah, but on the other hand, there are ways for us to mitigate the cost as well as using automation, using proper cost analysis. So I think there's two ways to do it definitely, and I think I would prefer to be in Singapore as of now. Luckily, I'm in Singapore. If not, COVID has really shut me down.
Yeah, it's better that way because,
Yeah.
because Bryan Wong can
We-
inspect every single piece himself. That's better that way.
Yeah.
Like I heard, for example, in China there have been electricity problems like that in
Yes.
some areas in China. Light has just been, or the electricity
Off.
just went off. Has that affected you?
For my side, we do quite a bit of preparation with our suppliers in China that provides us raw material. So normally we hedge the future with a certain X amount of materials based on our analysis. So it's still not so bad, but if there's any continuity of such situation for another one more year, I think everybody in the world will be affected. Yeah.
It's
So
definitely
I'm sure,
affecting
of
the
course.
statue and figurine industry
Yeah.
more.
yeah. I mean, workers in China cost 3 times more, so I won't be surprised that statues are much more expensive now.
Kind of explains why the war
The war machine, yeah.
is a bit expensive.
Yeah.
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 It's always
don't know.
important. It's always the important aspect for a retailer or product creator like within us in the common group that we need to find a balance between the acceptability and the profitability, of a company. So has always been tough during this COVID period. Yeah, everything is going up.
Yeah, it seems. I mean, your company seems to be. Seems to be blooming. I mean, I'm very happy with that. You've started new kind of units. You have your corner pieces, and you said you might want to start your larger units for the war machine kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, I have the Apostle Zod from the Berserk line or from Prime One.
Mm.
It's not a tall statue, but it's extremely wide and
Yeah.
it takes up a lot of space, and it will not fit into a regular MODUCASE. And I mean, these are, I believe, the kind of statues where you need these wider units.
Actually, many a times what we do is we consolidate all the custom sizes during the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we check the sizes and which are the one can we convert to standard units.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, so this is what we normally do. Yeah, so this is one aspect that we are looking for the 1/3 scale. Yeah, that will be challenging. Yes, I have to admit. Yeah, it's challenging for that.
You've already done one scale, so it should be fine.
Yeah. We did a few 1-to-1 scale recently. Yeah, really, we did a few 1-to-1 scale.
Really?
And
What? For example, give us an example. Like, do you remember?
The one that Queen Studio just launched, the 1-to-1 Mark 50, is it? The one that the guys just received, Mark 50, if I'm not wrong. Is it 50, Brian? 50, right?
Yeah, I saw one for Luffy from One Piece as well.
Oh yeah, Luffy. Yes, Luffy One Piece as well. Yeah, that's crazy. That's like 2 meters. The display. It's crazily huge.
Wow,
Yeah.
It is crazy. But I'm sure it will look really nice at the end.
The display was being assembled in Singapore and was trucked there by one 14-footer truck. And the whole truck does reaches the customer's home and forklift it down.
Wow. That's crazy. But I mean, I'm sure at the end it's going to look nice and the customer will be very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
do you have any other questions, Astro? Or like,
Yeah, I'm just checking out. Is there any questions?
No questions for me. Bryan Wong and BT have done a great job of answering all of our questions, so I'm good.
It's an honor. Yeah, it's great to be here, man.
yeah. I still really appreciate you take your time and for us and our channel, and I think it's great time. And what was there was just one thing, maybe for some some units, you do have like from the bottom for people maybe who have a wooden floor, to maybe easily kind of push the units. Maybe
the foot pad,
there'd be other ways. Yeah, the foot pads.
Yeah. Mm.
Because sometimes I had the problem, like when I tried to move the units a little bit, they kind of fell off, and I couldn't really push it back in again. That was
I see. Yeah.
Once I had.
We will be adding something more to the foot pad.
Yeah.
We'll be out.
Yeah,
we'll be
that
out
would be
soon.
good.
I just received the prototype last week.
Nice.
Okay.
We'll be out soon.
Yeah.
So MODUCASE product is the core. We have been very, very focused on product innovation just to keep ourselves forward. Yeah, because definitely there will be other comparatively make-do shelf like the garage shelf. Honestly, I'm very amazed by the garage shelf. Trust me, the YouTube videos out there are amazing for the garage shelf. Yeah, they have placed a lot of due diligence to get the YouTube up, man. They place a lot of effort to get it up, and it's fantastic. But the biggest difference for MODUCASE is we are always pushing for product innovation and details. Details are things that we really care about. Customers' details, user experience details, product details. It's really within us. I do not know how to express myself, but it's within us. Yeah, it's a focus that I'm very particular with regards with. So we have built a business culture, and Brian Tan, coming from a statue background as well, he's also very meticulous in details. So I really enjoy. We really enjoy working in MODUCASE because we had really a lot of fun. Yeah, like discussing details, and we are like, just by my language, we fuck each other every day. During work.
But we don't literally do that though. But yeah.
No, so we are all chill, and I think other than my dad, Brian Tan and I, we are the oldest. Yeah. Yes, correct. Yeah, we are the oldest. The rest are early 30s and mid 20s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, I'm 18 this year. No, I'm just joking. So I think other than my dad, Brighton and I, we are the oldest. Yeah, Brighton is definitely older than me by a few years.
But people can't tell us, so it's okay.
I'm nearing 40. Yeah, I'm nearing 40. Very near. Yeah, I'm nearing 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm reaching 50.
How do your children like?
No, you are far from there. Yeah, so actually we have a very young team and a very vibrant team that is willing to work with their brains and with their hands. They are really tough guys. We are really, really lucky to have our team to be together with us.
Yeah.
They are really
How old are your
tough
children? How old are your children?
I have 4, so the youngest is a son. My first 3 daughters. So my eldest is 9, 6, 4, and 8 months.
Oh, nice.
Okay, wow. Okay, maybe the oldest one is a little bit too young, but I was going to ask like whether they're already considering to continue your business in the future. So, but probably they're too young to know that.
You have to ask Ash. You have to ask my wife that. I think she'll be in a better position to answer this. Yeah, she's the company finance king. That's why. The CFO, you see.
Or maybe your wife says, "I don't want my children to anything to do with statues. They should become doctors, lawyers, or they want."
Okay. Anyway, for everybody's information, my dad is a collector, my wife is a collector, my eldest daughter and second
Wow.
daughter is a collector as well.
Oh,
Nice.
wow. Nice. So,
We have
wow.
been snatching for spaces. My dad is a Iron Studio 110 quarter scale collector, so he collects Marvel. He's mostly on the Marvel side.
Oh,
He's the
nice.
same as Brian Tan. They like sexy ladies. So
Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Right.
my wife is a more of a Disney sideshow Disney collector. Seven
Okay.
Princess, Cinderella, Tinkerbell, such stuff.
Right.
Poison Ivy, maybe not her kind, but more towards Cinderella and Tinkerbell and the latest one. There's this Riding Hood, right? By sideshow.
Right, yes.
Yeah,
yes,
Riding Hood.
yes,
That's
yeah.
nice. Yeah.
that's not-
And my eldest daughter is Lego Friends. Lego Friends City
Wow.
collector.
Okay.
Yep. My second daughter, she likes designer toys. She have quite a number of Mighty Jack's Little Pony. Yeah.
Okay.
She likes that series and
Wow.
also Cos Baby, right? I think.
Oh, Cos Baby, yes.
Yeah,
yes,
Cos
yes.
Baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Funko Pop. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's your personal kind of statues you prefer most or you're more into?
I'm not so much of a different skill preference person. Yeah, I'm more of an Iron Man person. Yeah, for statue would be Iron Man, Mark 7 and War Machine Mark 4. Yeah,
Okay.
these two.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So other than that, I would say Lego. Yeah, Lego
Okay.
City. Yep, and I love to design my own 3D Lego City. Yeah.
Wow.
So I spent a lot of time designing my own Lego collection and my own Lego
Wow,
design. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty tough. I mean, you must need, it takes a lot of planning and choosing which Lego pieces you need. And
So normally we conceptualize and we slowly build using the Lego 3D software that is provided by Lego, made by Lego.
okay.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Iron Man is still my favorite. Mark 7 and Mark 4 War Machine. I'm waiting for my War Machine Iron Patriot. Oh, trust me, I love that.
Oh.
The Hot
Wow.
Toys one. I should be getting it in the next 3 weeks.
There you
Yeah,
go.
should be. Yeah, I love
When
that
it comes
as well.
to statues, do you prefer a certain scale or you just anything you like?
My favorite is XM Mark 7. Honestly.
Yeah.
XM Mark 7. That piece is very, very nice. Hulkbuster on the second. I seldom I'm lesser on the DC side, but I can't resist Shogun. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Sanity Smoke. Sanity Smoke is nice. Yeah. I prefer the Sanity Smoke. It's really nice. Thanos and Lady Death. Yeah, I wasn't a Thanos filler until I saw the Queen Studio Thanos bus. Yeah. End up buying one.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
You're gonna need to clear some space for that, man.
Yeah, it's all in the boxes. Yeah. So I'm really a very mixed collector because really based on passion and my liking. If I like it, yeah, I will just buy it. Yeah.
I mean,
And then, and I
know-
was influenced by Hule, one of the Facebook very active guy, the Transformers series. He had my displays with all the Transformers.
wow.
From Prime 1. Yeah, he was the one that caught me up on Transformers goodness. Trust
Wow.
me. Wasn't a very,
I like the.
wasn't
I like
a very
the-
good buff.
I personally like the XM Transformers. I mean, I usually
it's
don't
nice,
collect.
it's nice.
I personally don't collect movie statues because I always
Mm.
prefer the comic versions of certain characters. I'm not saying the Prime ones are bad. They're awesome movie statues. The ones they've made from the Mark Bay movies, they're phenomenal.
Yep.
They look just great.
But it's all different
But
style.
it's
Yeah,
just
the
a-
XM one.
It's just because I think XM Studios has done a great job when they kind of found a way to create the G1 Transformers and
Yeah,
kind
the
of
G1.
create
That's
the modern, give them a modern look.
Yeah.
And I think XM has done a great job there because
have this
some
modern
people like the pure G1
the
style,
Michael Bay. Yes,
Wh-
yes, correct.
and because they look like what's it? Is it Is it Imaginarium Arts? They make these
Yeah,
total,
correct.
and they look very much just like the cartoons. But I don't know. For me, that's it's not for me. But because I like this little bit modern look that XM Studios has given their Transformers.
On the other hand, I'm
That's,
also a very Gundam collector. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
I do spend some time. Maybe I can shift up my camera a bit to show you. I deliberately lower my camera. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh,
I have
wow.
tons of
Oh
I have tons
wow.
of
Oh wow.
I have tons of Gundam.
He's a big Gundam fan, man. If I'll say so, he's probably his favorite. I think is Gundam above all.
Yeah, I have almost 2,000 boxes of
Oh
Gundam.
wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I collected since 1996, I would think.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
I have tons of Hasbro Transformers Soundwave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a tons of that from Toys R Us previously. Tons. Like
Yeah,
G.I. Joe,
I-
yes. I have tons of G.I.
I
Joe
see
figurines.
now. Yeah, I see now you have put the boxes on top of your MODUCASE. Did you put a wooden panel underneath it? Because I was thinking about doing that, but it's not
Honestly,
really possible with the.
I did not. I just
Really?
stuffed the boxes. Yeah, I did not. I just stuffed. I was too lazy to make one for myself.
Okay,
Yeah, honestly. That's why in
Because
the
I
end
was-
I just
it's just a cardboard piece like underneath there.
I didn't bother, but I just throw it on top.
Yeah, because like I was really I couldn't I didn't want to risk to put anything on top, and
Yeah.
because I was really afraid to do that.
I think it's pretty safe for boxes, just boxes. Maybe not XM boxes. XM boxes are heavy with the foam.
Yeah, they're probably too big to put there too, but smaller boxes maybe, or anything else. Some people have, I don't know, smaller things they just want to put on top in their house.
There's a question
like,
from
again-
one of the comment. Yeah.
Yeah, Buzz asks, will you offer MODUCASEs in alu color in the future maybe, or white as well?
Yes, we'll be offering white hopefully. I did offer white for I think a period of a week previously. Yeah. But I tried getting the white in, but white can't be if you take note the aluminum that you guys receive, right? The finishes are
Yeah.
using anodization. So anodization is a chemical process which etches the surface of the aluminum, which turns it black. But for white,
Yeah.
we would need to spray paint it, powder coat it, which is not as beautiful. This is something that I'm struggling with. So
Because
sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm looking towards a different white coating for the extrusion.
Okay.
Yeah, but it takes some. I'm working with a company that does extrusion coloring. It's a kind of company that does the chemical coloring. So we are working with them for different finishes prototype to give it a try. But as of now, white is one of the most difficult. If you speak about Iron Man red, no problem. Even Iron Man gold is not a problem. But the white, it's tough.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're planning, I don't know, for people like maybe a custom frame. Maybe, as you said, for example, like the Iron Man. If you want the frame in gold, for example, or so. And
Oh, that's possible. We can
Yes,
do it now.
possible.
That is possible. Yes, it's just
Yeah.
that we have not offered it. So like
Yeah.
Brian Tan said, yes.
I want a
quarter
pink one, man. I want a pink one.
quarter one things will be coming out.
Maybe a
Maybe
full
for the
pink
one.
one.
I'll be making a red one for myself, definitely. Like anodized metallic red for my Iron Man.
Yeah.
Because I'm waiting for my 1:1 scale Mark 7.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yes. That is nice. I cannot resist that, seriously. It's really very nice. The Mark 7, the Queen Studio 101. That is nice, man.
Yeah, but because I found it like very impressive because I was like, Buzz actually came up with a good question. Something I was going to ask that whether you offer them different colors, because I really like the black. I'm not a fan of really flashy colors inside your house, but there might be people who like it and it goes more with their interior inside their house, maybe with their furniture or so. But it would be a good option for other people.
Yeah.
But or maybe if some people they want, maybe I don't know, would be possible maybe aluminium or so, like a chrome color or so, maybe like a shiny more metallic look.
Yeah. Buzz mentioned on the comments that the official Gundam info here on YouTube officially launched the first 2 Gundam movies yesterday. Yes, I've already watched it. Yes,
Oh
I've already
my
watched it.
God.
Yes, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Watched
So-
it since it came out.
So you guys knows that where I've been spending all my money. It's all on collection everywhere.
It's on Gundam.
And it's
It's
for an
everywhere.
exception, it's not only you; it's your whole family. It's even your wife, your father.
Yes.
It's the whole family. So,
But yeah, my dad is purchasing quite a bit. Yeah, quite a lot. Yeah, not a bit. quite a lot. So actually, it's quite fun for the whole family to be a collector together.
yeah,
We
I mean, I was
we share
surprised
common
when
interests.
I was surprised when you mentioned that it's like a family business, because I think that's a phenomenal thing. Like, because I think it's also a good thing, like, because you're like, everyone knows each other. Maybe there's more harmony. I'm sure also sometimes there might be some
There'll
arguments
be
as well.
friction,
I mean,
definitely.
I mean, it's normal in the family. I mean, that's just normal, but still, I think it's a great
I keep the
thing.
peace, man. I keep the peace in the family.
Yeah, Brian Dunn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. He has to be
Well, what
the
was
ambassador. So for
the whole journey of these 3 years is fantastic. Of the whole team working together, Brian Dunn joining on board, giving us tons of very valuable advices in moving the company. So hopefully, Q1 and so, man, we'll be moving forward.
I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to what you guys, what you guys have in store and what you guys are gonna do next year.
yeah, me too. Raymond Wong is asking who wears the pants in the family. So
I'm on boxers now for him. Raymond Wong is a fantastic collector as well, man. Trust me, he has been helping me on new products. Tons of new products was being sent his way. Yeah, just
Raise
to
the
get
man.
raise the man, man. And his collection is crazy. If you can get him on board, look at his collection, you'll be shocked, man. Shocked. Yes.
And that's the answer. Raven wears the pants in the family.
You'll be very shocked by his collection. Very, very. Yes.
Wow.
He has tons. I think he has. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many he has. Yeah, I don't know. Too many.
Too many to count.
Yeah.
Too many to count. Too many. Yeah, but it's amazing the journey in MODUCASE, where I got to make a lot of friends everywhere. Yeah, and and just this last week, my dear pet dog passed away. My 14 years dog passed away. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So I had a picture that I posted on Facebook. Yeah, I get a lot of concern from collector friends. Yeah, who end up became all my friends. Yeah, it's just so fantastic to have this feeling where you can work, making good friends. And you know what's the most amazing part about collection is when I fly to the country, I meet up a collector, a group join together. There's no motive behind the meeting. Everybody has a common topic. There's no wealth, there's no poverty, there's no line difference, there's no division in terms of everything, be it wealth, be it in any aspect that we are speaking about. It's just coincide harmonious meeting where we speak statue together, and it's peaceful, fun, and very driven. It's just feels so
I agree
peaceful.
with that.
Yeah, it's very different. Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah. I mean, since I've been like in this whole, like, since I've started my YouTube channel, I've met so many people like Astro and Cash and other people, like, and since, as you said, everyone has the common interest, and everyone knows what everyone's talking about, and it's just a really wonderful feeling. It's just like a family, and I'm very happy to have met, and you make new friends, and it doesn't matter where anyone lives. Everyone knows what everyone is talking about, and
and
just a wonderful feeling.
Yeah, I think many at times buying collections or looking at it allow us to feel peaceful every day.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
think that's
yeah.
a very important segment of life that we need to always remember, that peace is the most important. I mean, humble, ethic, peacefulness is something that we need to we'll be sorting after every day. We need to remind myself that be it how rich a person is or how poor a person is, I think finding peace is something that not wealth can buy you. So this community has this aspect which creates the happiness and peace that you can't find somewhere else. I'm not sure am I expressing myself in the correct way. Yeah, but it's the peace that when you meet up with different collectors, where everybody understands that what's going on, what are you speaking, the excitement, the adrenaline rush that you have together. It's
Yeah,
so
for example, when you open a box, a new statue, like you have this new smell, and only a collector can really understand what you're talking about. Someone who's not a collector can't really. Sorry?
Yeah,
I said I thought I was the only one.
No, there's people who are not in the collection will start asking me like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Right. Right.
Like I have a lot of family.
Why are you collecting?
Like I have
Lego?
some family members. Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you
Like I
collecting
have some
Cinderella sideshow?
Okay.
No, I get this
guess
all the time.
most people get upset only when they look at the shipping fee, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I get relatives telling me, "Why are you buying $5,000 statue? Are you crazy?" Yeah, I'm
True.
crazy. That's why,
I have the same issue.
So
like some of my family members, they just they call me and they say like, when I first started this, they say, "What the hell are these toys? Like, why do you want to buy these children characters? These are things you were watching on TV when you were a kid, and now when they see like how I'm into this, they've started to change their opinions when they heard like how much these things cost and how the value changes over time, and now they're starting to kind of appreciate what we're doing here. And
but I think the ultimate is we may spend many $1,000s for our collection, but the very moment that we switch on the lights, we sit in front of our display, we look at it, and we will smile after that.
Yeah.
I think that is the point where we can reward ourselves.
Blaine, yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And Blaine Day is asking, have you considered a line of acrylic risers, maybe a better quality than cheap 120th Amazon ones?
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. That is a very, very good point. I've never really think of that because Amazon has been selling a lot on the acrylic risers, the transparent acrylic risers.
Yeah.
So maybe I should think of something that is much more heavy duty for those.
You guys do have risers, but they're not the same acrylic risers. They're black with the felt on the top and stuff like that.
With the felt finish. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Blaine has come up.
So I think ultimately, for us as a collector, we can just disregard how people view us. Yeah. Because the happiness is within us. We may spend many thousands. Yeah, people might find us crazy. But I think fair enough. We feel happy about it. We smile in front of our collection. I think that's the most important for us.
Right.
Yeah. I think we all love what we are doing here, and our hobby, and it's almost like, for me, it's almost like part of my life. I really enjoy this, and
if we were to put it in a second perspective, how many humans in the world do you really know what you love?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's true. True.
I mean, in life, we've been always seeking for something that we love, be it family, be it work, be it collection, be it hobby. But at least we found ours. Yeah, statue collection.
Right.
It's something that we love, and we should feel happy about.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, for the only problem might be in the future, you're lucky enough to have a family who is also kind of involved in this whole collecting area, but I think most people in the world are not so lucky, and maybe one day when I have a wife or girlfriend, she will force me to get rid of the collection or sell them, whatever. But that's, as you said, it's a really nice environment, and society, and I don't think I will be stopping so early. So
Yeah, I don't think I'll be stopping any time soon. Since I can start collection, I started collecting since 1990s. Yeah, so I don't think I will stop.
Right.
Oh, really?
I started
when
with
I started,
Bowen statue initially.
I don't know. Like I started off with a, premium format Harley Quinn from Sideshow, and that was,
I see.
I think it was 2013 or maybe or
Yeah,
14,
2013.
something
Right.
like that. And that time, I just I just bought that one, and like I had to promise, like I don't know, that's you only buy that, and it's okay. Now we have like so I have so many statues, and the collection is just so big, and this hobby is almost like a drug, though. It's
It is.
like
It is. It
once
is.
you start,
It is.
it, it's almost impossible to actually stop.
Yeah. You guys, give me a second. I need to visit the restroom for a while, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just 1 second.
No problem. And what about you, Brian? Like, did you start collecting before you started with? Since when did you start off with XM Studios? When did that start?
It started. I was a collector. I was buying statues and toys and stuff. And then I met Ben and Singh when they were
Yeah.
still. There was no XM. They were painters and they were custom modelers. We became friends, and then they know that I started a few businesses, so they got me to kind of try to work out something with them, and I did. We started the business together. That was about 5 years back, right? And then yeah, it went really great. Learned a lot, made a lot of new friends in the community. Yeah, after 4 years, I wanted to kind of go into a different industry to just learn more about designer toys. So that's why I'm with Mighty Jacks now. But I'm still very much part of the statue community, though. I'm still very much buying stuff and hanging out.
You were also collecting yourself before, though. You were a
Yeah,
collector before. Yeah.
definitely. I think my first few pieces was Sideshow, right? The Spider-Man versus Incredible Hulk. Yeah, that was
Oh,
one of my
wow.
favorite pieces.
Okay.
It's been a while, yeah.
And if I may ask, like from the XM Studios, what is your personal favorite piece?
My personal favorite would be the Shogun. That piece was special for me. Yeah, it was a hard piece to push through, to get through to the licenses, the whole range.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Samurai range Batman is my favorite range, my favorite line.
Okay. Yeah, it is one of my favorites too. I really love that line. And so, but what year did XM Studios actually was founded officially?
Officially, it was founded in 20. I'm trying to remember. Right, it's 2021 now. That'll be 2016.
Yeah, okay. Wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not too long ago. I mean,
not a decade old yet, but yeah.
no.
I
not
think we
long,
were just
but
maybe 2 years or 3 years ahead of MODUCASE.
yeah, but I mean, they have really grown, and we can see what phenomenal kind of company you've created, and I mean, as you can see, I'm a huge fan of XM, and because I mean, I think one big thing which is what makes XM special is also the packaging. I mean, and it's also the size and of the bases. The bases, they almost always tell a story, and the designers and they are real eye catchers, XM statues, and also they're compared to other companies like Sideshow. I think when it's very rare that you really get a damaged statue from XM Studios. The packaging from XM Studios is very unique. It's almost like a suitcase, and I'm always
I kind of prefer the first generation XM boxes. I think they were a bit more hardy, and ever since we changed a few factories, it was a little bit different. But you're right. I think we did a survey, we did a analysis. It was like 2% max of each problem items will have problems after shipping because of the way the box and the packaging is done very securely. Yeah, we're very happy about that. Yeah. I see.
Yeah.
Bryan Wong is back from the
Yeah.
toilet break.
Just to tack on one last thing about the packaging and XM, I think XM was probably the first company where I got a statue, and I felt like the statue had a very quality feel to it, like a pristine, upscale. It just made it feel like what I was buying was worth something a little bit more. Obviously, sideshow whenever it's packaged nicely, but it just almost gave me like an upscale type feel, and it was like, okay, this is really nice with the straps.
I like the Velcro strips.
The strap.
Yeah.
The straps are good.
Very
Yeah,
true.
I like those. Yeah.
What I also like are on the corner, this metal corner pieces on the boxes outside. It really makes it look like these old-fashioned suitcases you used to get like in the 1920s or 30s, like when people used to carry around with these huge boxes and as suitcases. And it's like this protection pieces on the corners, you know what I'm talking about. And I really think it gives it a more high-class feel. And as you said, also those Velcro straps. Those also very good.
Yeah, I got the idea from I think it was my wife was buying all those expensive handbags, and they come in boxes that look like that. One single color, and I thought, hey man, maybe guys were like that, like a single color box like that. You feel it at the back, and people see and instantly remember it. But the Velcro was one of the ways that I felt I personally hated all the Scotch tapes, and you gotta tear away and you gotta retape back. So I thought that would be a way, because collectors, we trade, we always sell off and we buy new stuff. So we wanted it to be easy to do, and you don't have to meddle with tapes and cutters and all that. But there was some good times.
Wonderful.
Yeah, wonderful. And another thing you'd like to say, Brian, like, I don't know, you were going to say something before you left, I think, and or maybe you forgot that.
I forgot.
Okay.
No, it's my turn.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot.
No problem.
Yeah,
decent. Yeah, Don C says like XM took the quality to another level, and Buzz says XM raised the bar in the statue game, and I think
Thank
that's
you.
very true.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's very true.
I totally agree with that, and for those kind of statues, I mean, MODUCASE came up with this whole new style of displays, and I'm personally like very grateful for that. And I think, as I said, there are many other companies who create displays, but I'm sure MODUCASE is among the top companies to really bring out your collection pieces and make them look wonderful. And I think even the style of the displays, they're a little bit fancy. I think they really look nice. They're not just these simple wooden shelves you find sometimes from IKEA or so. They look really nice, and they really give your room decoration a really totally different feel, and I'm very happy about that. And I just want to say, so if anyone else have anything to add, Astro? Or?
No, I think the only thing that I would add is thank you, Bryan Wong, and thank you, BT, for taking times out of your busy schedule to come talk to us and just kind of shed some light and just have a blast and have fun. So again, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I want to say thank you again too. I really appreciate your time, and I was happy that we could find some kind of compromise time where we could all come together. And I mean, we all come from totally different time zones. I mean, everywhere. Like
I don't know about
compromise
time. It's 4 a.m. here. I was hoping Austin might be still awake and we can go for like some supper or something like that.
Yeah, Astro and Cash are on the very far west, and you're in the far east, and I'm somewhere in the middle. And
Astro should be around 2 p.m. now, is it?
It's about almost 4:30 p.m.
Oh, so you're 12 hours away from us. We are 4:19 here a.m.
Yes, it's 4:19 p.m. Yeah.
Cash, how about you? Which state are you at?
It is 3:19.
Which state are you at?
It's 3:19.
Oh, 3:19.
Yeah, Central Standard Time.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I just want to bring it to an end. And as I said again, thanks you again for your time. We really appreciate it. We had a wonderful time. I think everyone else too. And I'll just like to bring it to an end. And thanks again to everyone. And
Thank you.
please don't forget also to hit the like button, and definitely don't forget to subscribe. And also, please everyone check out Kash's channel. I'll leave a link for that, and Astro's too, from Astronomers World, and everyone else. Thanks again, and it was a nice day. So God bless you. God bless our statues, and
Thank you, guys.
have a nice day, everyone.
Have a nice day.
البين